didn't start in '67. But yes, there was a beautiful small group of families that got together beginning in 1965. And those families just got together out of their sheer generosity, their love for their kids, and their determination that they were going to make something happen for those children. And although there were services at that point in time that were funded for children who had cerebral palsy, children with severe mental retardation, there was nothing for our guys. So the families got together to support one another, to figure out where to go next. So out of that need of them to provide for their children, and because there was nothing, they decided to fix it. So fix it we did. And we've been fixing it ever since, right, Mary Ann? Okay. So for the interesting details of every step of that way, I want you to look at the Wildwood Facebook page, where Tom has beautifully put up a video a week called 50 Facts for 50 Years. So that's where you're gonna get the details. So we're gonna have more fun right here, okay? So when I ask whether you've been part of something, I'm gonna ask you to stand up. And not stand up and sit down, I'm gonna ask you to stand up and keep standing. So, okay, if you are a family or parent member that were here before services even began, would you stand up? And I know who you are, so you're not standing. Okay. All right. Now, if you were part of selling Tootsie Rolls or keeping them in your garage instead of your cars, stand up. Okay. If you were involved in the first summer half-day Camp Wildwood at Goodrich Elementary School, or the Buddy program that took place every Saturday after that in the fall, you stand up. Okay. There's some people who were staff at that first time that are in Florida, and this has given us an opportunity to actually call them and tell them, ask them to come to the gala. So I think they will. Okay, if you were part of the first Wildwood School classes, preschool, kindergarten, home training program, etc., at either the First Presbyterian Church or Westminster Presbyterian Church, stand up. And told you. Okay. Most of you didn't know that Frank Doberman actually was an intern back then. And you know Frank, he's been here working at Wildwood, and he's retired now from Wildwood. Anyway, the quick short story I'll tell you really funny about that is because Anne was so successful in helping children with autism, children with developmental disabilities learn. Their school districts wanted to see what she was doing, and so did their families. Well, it was pretty disruptive to have everybody sitting inside the classroom watching. So we were creative, and we fixed that by putting a viewing window between the ladies' room and Anne's classroom. Well, you couldn't see from Anne's classroom into the ladies' room, but you could see the other way around. So we used to have school psychologists and parents that would walk up to the door and they would say, "Ladies," and they weren't quite sure they should go in there and watch their kids, but they did. So that was my office and the storeroom and the viewing window and the ladies' room, and there were times when school districts would be in there watching kids, and some little kid would come in with his pants half down and they had to go to the bathroom. So that's creativity, right? That's how Wildwood started. Okay, now, if you were part of Camp Wildwood when it moved to Tall Timbers, stand up. Some of you were, and some of you helped to give Wildwood the first name with the kids, because they decided that it was going to be called Wildwood. Okay. Now, if you became part of Wildwood when we moved to the Eleanor Roosevelt Developmental Center, which is now called WHEC, you stand up. Where's Diane? Yes. Anybody else? Beth, you were part of it. Where's Beth? Told you. Okay. Now, if you served on a board or a committee, stand up. Yes. If you became involved once we moved to Birchwood, stand up. if you're part of garage sales and first 5K run, if you help Wildwood develop adult services in the Latham Circle Mall, you stand up. If you work in the business office at Latham Circle Mall, stand up. Melissa, Sarah, okay. If you became a member of the Wildwood Advisory Group, you're here, stand up. And if you help Wildwood, have a point right now. It takes a community of very unselfish and loving people, like you, to give people like our sons and daughters the very best chance they have in life. And that's exactly what you've done. You've been a beautiful, beautiful community. Every one of you is a pioneer. And every one of you has been open to learn from our best teachers, who are our sons and daughters who have special needs. So everybody in this room has played a very special role. And there will always be a need for this beautiful partnership between families and staff and the community. So thank you.